on behind the pancreas at the root of the superior mesenteric artery.
We need a better angle.
We're not going to get a better angle. Definitely not when we're actually operating.
So what's the solution?
There isn't one. Not surgically.
Now, that is just a snapshot of one of the most compelling shows on TV right now, The Good Doctor's hit show making its season 3 premiere tonight on ABC. And I am joined by two of the stars of that show, Nicholas Gonzalez and Christina Chang. Good morning. Thanks for joining us from out there at the set where you guys are making this really awesome show. First, just if you can, maybe for everybody at home, sort of set the stage about what this show is about, what makes this show so fascinating that folks at home should know.
The show is about a surgical resident in San Jose at San Jose St. Bonaventure Hospital who has autism. Pretty much around that, his life, his trying to navigate his new job and work, and we are his bosses. And
that's right, we are actually.
She's now my boss in this new season.
I am the boss.
That's gotta be neat to have
There's also Richard Schiff, but okay, whatever.
Have your character sort of get promoted. That's kind of a neat experience to have that happen, I can imagine. Talk to me maybe a little bit about how the show is focuses on Dr. Murphy and his autism, but of course you've got to be surrounded by really cool stories as well to make the show work. Maybe talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, medically, a lot, or not most of our stories are plucked straight from the headlines, and then
a lot of controversial stories, like the ones that are now being argued on the world stage, we kind of deal with and give the differing opinions, and we don't shy away from it.
Right, and so we've got that just on the medical professional side, and then season 3 is really going to focus a lot more on personal relationships. I mean, I just from the first episode of season 3, I think they've been showing the promos of Sean's first date.
Yeah.
So we get to follow that.
Hilarity
as
ensues.
The season, right? It's also called Disasters.
So. Yeah. The episode is called Disaster, which should give you an idea of how his date went.
And how, Yeah.
But we're going to be delving into the lives of the doctors.
Yes.
We're going to be going home with us. We're going to be seeing a lot more about the relationships. But we're still the procedural that deals with 1 to 2 cases a week. As well, so you're getting a healthy dose of medical and
professional. Personal
life.
Yeah.
When you talk about the autism element of this, you don't shy away from the issues. You also don't shy away from autism. You really display it in a big way. For you guys, how compelling is that as actors to be part of something that really is pushing social change and getting us to all look at this in a new way?
Well, first I'll say that we really appreciate being not only welcomed but also, in a sense, sanctioned by or given the check mark by a lot of different organizations that deal with autism, which means a lot because there's a lot of misconceptions that come with autism, and which we hope to right, and at the same time just show one version of one person on the spectrum, as they say. When you've met one person on the spectrum, you've met one person on the spectrum, and it manifests in very different ways. So we're seeing one life, but if anything, I think it also speaks to, it's not just if your interest is autism, it also speaks to people who have been marginalized, people like many of us who feel that we don't belong at times or don't feel, social anxiety, and, it manifests itself obviously in much bigger ways, but you start to see that it's kind of a universal thing, that feeling of not being accepted, and we hope to change it.
Yeah, and it feels fantastic to be a part of something like that.
Well, thank you so much, Nicholas and Christina. We really appreciate taking the time. Don't forget, The Good Doctor premieres tonight for season 3, 10 o'clock, right here on ABC.